Hi, I'm Kara, life coach, wife, and mom to 4 incredible and unique children. It wasn't all that long ago that my son received a diagnosis that had my world come crashing down. I lacked the ability to see past the circumstances, which felt impossible, and the dreams I once had for my life and family felt destroyed. Fast forward past many years of surviving and not at all thriving, and you'll see a mom who trusts that she can handle anything that comes her way and has access to the power and confidence that once felt so lacking. I created the Special Needs Mom podcast to create connection and community with moms who find themselves feeling trapped and with no one who really understands. My intention is to spark the flare of possibility in your own life and rekindle your ability to dream. This isn't a podcast about your special needs child. This is a podcast about you. If you are a mom who feels anxious, alone, or stuck, then you are in the right place. Welcome. Hello, and welcome to the Special Needs Mom podcast. Alrighty, let's start this episode with a quick check-in. If you're new here, it'll kind of bring you up to speed. And if you're coming back after any amount of time, but particularly the last couple of weeks, I want to bring you up to speed. As many of you know, I run this podcast alongside living the life of a special needs mom right alongside y'all. And several weeks ago, I accepted that I just didn't have what it took to give to the podcast and care for myself in a way that I'm committed to. And so I made the decision of letting go of producing those particular episodes. No, don't you worry, not the whole podcast, just those particular episodes. And then the plan was to reassess where I was at towards the end of that time period. And obviously, I guess no need for a drum roll. I'm back here recording. And what I noticed towards the last little bit, as I kind of was starting to reassess, is that I was having what I'll call little sparks of creative flair again. And that told me that I was ready to create again. And so I'm very thankful. I was very encouraged to kind of feel those little, again, we'll call them sparks coming back, because I love it. I love creating for y'all. And so I miss it when I don't have that to give, but deeply thankful that I took the time that I needed. And so here I am. I'm going to, obviously continue to assess my needs and going to still be very careful about what I ask of myself, because we just happen to be in a time where I am needing to really put a lot of energy, which looks like time and money, into sustaining and caring for myself. We're just in a long season, what's turned into a very long season of demanding medical and behavioral and emotional needs of Levi and my other children. And that combined with my needs starts to feel a little overwhelming if I'm honest here. And so that is where I'm putting my focus. Okay. And as another kind of quick check-in is like, so how am I? How am I managing all of the needs of all of the people, including myself? And what I'd like to share is that what I'm learning currently in my life is to experience new levels of grief. Alongside that, to experience different kinds of vulnerability. I'm still learning how to exist in my local community with the unique needs of my son. I think as his needs and where he fits has changed, it's changed how our family fits in the community. And we just happen to be in an in-between time where we don't fit where we used to, but we don't necessarily know where we fit yet. As you can tell, I am still in the process of figuring it out and do not have it figured out, but I'm committed to putting one step after another. And I know that's why y'all are here too. Okay, today we're going to be talking about a very simple concept. But before I get into that, I actually wanted to highlight something that had come up in coaching as I was coaching a different individual, but I recognize it's essentially something that I used to be able to take the time off that I did. And it's a really, really simple concept, but I want us to pay attention to it because I think it's a concept that actually, if we don't learn to pay attention to it, I think the impact of it is that ultimately we don't care for ourselves. And I'm all about caring for ourselves. So that's why we're talking about it. So this concept is allowing an impact. What do I mean by this? There's a lot of defaults that I see when I work with people and with myself. And it looks like this. People don't take time off of work because there would be an impact, aka like work might not get done or deadlines might not get met. In other words, people would notice that they weren't there. Or like you don't make your own health appointments and put anything on the schedule for yourself because there might be an impact to your kids or to your work. Or you don't invest in yourself, whether it's coaching or health supplements or therapy, because there might be a financial impact to your family. Or in my shoes, in order to avoid an impact, I wouldn't have listened to myself because the impact I would have on you, my listener, my community. So you see there's this theme. We generally don't notice this when we're out there doing it. That's why I'm shedding a little bit of light on it to see if you can notice this happening in your own life. And my guess is that you will. Particularly, I think this is a phenomena I see a lot more in women than in men as I'm working with them. So accept that there will be an impact of you taking care of yourself. If we try to have a net zero effect in order to take care of ourselves, it's very predictable that we won't take care of ourselves. So consider there will be an impact and you get to choose. All right, so that wasn't actually the simple concept I wanted to bring to you today. That was just we'll call it a bonus. Today was something that I heard on a peloton ride. So I don't ride very often, but when I do, I have a great time. And I heard this and it just so deeply resonated with me that I wanted to share it with you. So the instructor was talking about a recent trip she went on, and I guess she was going on bike rides with a group of people and talking about how they were riding at such an extreme level of difficulty, like unimaginably hard. Like she couldn't even believe it when she was like telling us the story of what they did. But interestingly enough, because she was with this pack of people that were clearly like-minded, like they were crazy enough to be on this mountain on a bike, that she was able to ride at this level that looking back at, she was like, I don't even know how I did that. And it's very likely that she would not have been able to produce the same results climbing up that mountain on her bike without being with those people. And so she said this challenge to us in regards to kind of thinking about her experience. And she said, find your people and climb your mountains together. Now, it's a simple line, but there's so much I could pick apart in this, and I want you to do the same. So I hear this, and I'm thinking immediately about you and I, us moms, and our mountains. The level of difficulty we face is similarly unimaginably difficult. Like it's real easy to look ahead and up the hill, the metaphorical hill, if you will, and think, this is impossible. And it's likely that you might doubt your own ability. And the truth is, you probably can't do it alone. There's a very good reason that people don't trek mountains alone. Think of the difference it would make to have your people climbing your hardest challenges together. This allows us to borrow strength from those around us when we don't think we have what it takes. Research after research project shows that when we feel safe in a group, we're more likely to take risks and go through learning from failures and successes in ways we don't when we're not in that safe group. So I'm going to leave this very simple today. Find your people and climb your mountains together. I do want to leave you with one way to find some people and give you an opportunity to consider the group coaching community that I host called Pathway to Peace. It's recently reopened, and I am inviting a small group of people to join alongside this, what we'll call the launch group. And it's a place where I get to see moms climbing mountains together. It's absolutely incredible. So I welcome you to consider the possibility of joining alongside a group that's doing the special need mom thing together. And you're welcome to reach out to me directly, and you can find my information in the show notes of this episode. And since I know some of you will ask, the ride I did on Peloton was with Robin Arzon, and it was a 20-minute high-intensity training ride. I don't know why they spell it HIIT. Is that for like high intensity? Is it a HIIT ride? I am not totally sure, but that is what the title was. Okay. Well, with that, we'll see you on the next episode.